Welcome to the second episode of the Nymore Boys podcast. My name is Tyler. I am joined with
Mitch.
What's going on, Mitch?
What's up, dude?
Not much. Just finally got all the technical difficulties out of the way.
Dude, I like this setup a lot better. You guys can tell what happened with the last one because we had multiple cameras. We were going to try to do 3, and then we went down to 2. Oof. And then essentially what we had to do was we had to hook up all cameras, clap before it, go into an editing software, sync up our mouths with the voice in our recording program. And that was such a pain. And I mean, I wasn't the one doing it because I'm so shitty at editing. So it was mainly for you. But I was like, oh, we're going on 2 cameras. And then we just ended up doing 1. And the setup is a lot better. I like it. And then we'll be able to put this on YouTube now, finally.
Yeah.
Like the video form, which I think is pretty kick-ass.
Yeah. I'm super excited about it. And it's actually a pretty simple setup, too. It's literally just a little dongle called an Elgato Cam Link from my camera directly into OBS, which is a software on my computer. And it's actually that simple.
Yeah, so it makes it a lot easier, and now it's easier and more convenient to put up more episodes. Yeah. And it makes life a lot easier. So we can pump more of these out, and it's less than a pain in the ass to get them out.
Before I forget, make sure to go follow us on all of our social medias. They are linked down below if you're watching on YouTube. If you are listening, it is Nymore Boys across the board, basically. If you just type in Nymore Boys on any social media, you should be able to find us as far as I know.
Yeah. And, we got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, obviously on YouTube. Yep. Is there any other thing I'm forgetting?
The podcast is available on like 6 different platforms now. Obviously, the big ones are Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, those are the main ones I care about.
I believe it's available. So it's on Google Podcasts as well, Breaker, Radio Public, and then Anchor, which is the software that we use to publish them. So it's basically available anywhere that you watch podcasts and listen to podcasts, really. Yeah. And also, I've been working really hard behind the scenes to create nymoreboys.com. I'm super excited about it.
Doing that too.
There's only a couple designs that I've got up so far, but I'm really excited. I've always wanted to do a clothing company, and actually that reminds me of a clothing company that Mitch and I originally had started together, but then I kind of ran with it for a little bit.
Yeah, because this was when I left to go play hockey, or was this when I left for Pennsylvania?
I think it's when you left for Pennsylvania, because it was right out of high school.
Yeah, it was way back. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? So we tried that. I wouldn't say it was a failure, but it wasn't everything he would hope it turned out to be.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up making like it was a decent business, and I had it for like, technically the name we had for probably 2 years. But I really started pushing it when I was in college because I literally had nothing else to do. I would just sit in my dorm room and do nothing. So
do that.
I made an absolute crap ton of designs and just kind of ran with it. But eventually ended up shutting that down just because it wasn't producing enough to really make sense. And I kind of lost interest in it. Yeah. But now with nymoreboys.com, we do sell tons of different merch, and I'm going to continue to find new designs too.
Yeah, work on it. We got sweatshirts, T-shirts.
Yep, so
was it a crop top?
Yep, there is a crop top for you ladies out there. And I think Mitch would probably look okay in one too.
I would rock crop top, no lie. Dad bod season is actually coming in here soon.
Dad bod season is upon us. But we print on Champion sweatshirts as well. We do have a cheaper option that I believe is Gildan. For the hoodies, but the Champion sweatshirts are really nice quality, nice heavy-duty sweatshirts. We got your bro tanks, bomber jacket, crew neck, Champion crew necks.
And this will be cool because this isn't your main focus with the merch, but you can kind of do a little bit of that Skyline stuff.
Yeah, well, and that's one thing that I really like doing is designing clothing, or even just designs for clothing. It's something I've always been really interested in. So this is just kind of a cool way, and it helps support the podcast. This stuff was not cheap to get this up and going. No, that's for sure. No,
definitely was not. And it was mainly the mics, but that's like the bread and butter.
Yeah, so basically the whole setup we have 3 mics, which we only use 2 right now. We've got a 4-channel mixer. My laptop I had already owned for my day job, and then the cam link, and then my camera, which I already owned, but the camera by itself is probably $1,300 or
but
more.
Thank God you had that already.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been probably wouldn't be putting them on YouTube because
Yeah, we could have made do with something else, but this camera
we could have
definitely makes it
probably done
a lot easier.
we probably could have done a webcam, but
And what are you looking at that screen for so much?
I don't know. I just keep looking. You know.
Is it fascinating?
Well, it is fascinating, and I want to make sure that we're not peaking because I've changed the levels a little bit.
Yeah. Look up or open up Google Chrome in case we gotta look shit up. And then I'll be that. But no, dude, I've actually been so excited to do another episode because we've only had one up, and that was kind of not a mini episode, but it wasn't too long, and it was. I don't know. I didn't think. I mean, it sounded good, but.
Well, and we didn't really plan for it either. Like
we were here. Drinking beer, and we said, "Screw it, let's do it."
Yeah, essentially, that we just sat down and pressed record, and just whatever
kind of on the fly
ended up happening.
And then actually, it was funny. Right after that was when all that James Charles stuff happened, and I saw it, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is hilarious!" I think it's hilarious. I don't know. I mean, because I saw a bunch of girls I know that are James Charles fans, and
my sister is too.
They were like, "Oh man, like screw him now."
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's like the case for every James Charles fan out there, but did you see how many subs he lost?
Yeah, I think at one point I saw he had lost almost 3 million within a couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he had 16, almost 17 million subscribers, so losing 3 million isn't really that big of a deal, but it's an insane amount of subscribers that you can lose in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, that video
unreal.
Absolutely nuked his channel. And for you guys that don't know what we're talking about, James Charles he was the first male model for CoverGirl, which is I think where he got huge, and his, as he says, kind of like his mom or his mentor. She basically promoted him a bunch and, was there for him every step of the way.
What was her name again? Like
Tati Westbrook.
Tati Westbrook.
And so she basically supported him every step of the way. And she was from my understanding, a big part of kind of him essentially becoming James Charles. So she came out with a video, and it was a bunch of different things. The main thing from what I got from it was I think she was promoting some company that was...
Oh, he released a new video.
Yeah, what was he doing? He was promoting like her rival company, and she was like, "Okay, like why did you do this?" It was like,
I don't know. I didn't really look that far into it, but I think it was like skincare.
Yeah, it was skincare and vitamins and stuff like that. And he was basically promoting her rival company, which I don't really get why he was doing. I mean, probably he got money from it, I'm guessing, or something like that. But I mean, and then that was one thing. And then I think she talked about other stuff that he did. And one of the big things, which is actually becoming kind of a meme now, is so this dude is gay.
Yep.
And you would think, he wants to like be with other gay dudes, but apparently like that's not the case. And he tries.
I feel like that's kind of like a pretty common thing, though.
I don't know, dude. But she was saying that there was something for, I think it was her birthday dinner, or they did something. I think it was out in Seattle, and they were there, and it was her whole family and a bunch of her friends, and they were out, and James Charles was there, and he was just being like an absolute idiot, and he was like, yeah, like that server's hot, like I'm gonna try to get with him. And she basically said, look, James, he's straight, and he's like, I don't care. He's like, I have a ton of money and I'm super famous, like so. And then she was pissed about that. I'm pretty sure.
That's such a shitty thing to say too.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she was pissed about that too, because she was saying how that she had to like apologize to like her friends, and he was doing this in front of like her kids, so it was like it was just something like you don't want like kids to hear and stuff. So that was part of that. And then he did a bunch of other stuff, and there was actually, I saw a video, I don't know who it was, and I don't know if this is related, but I saw like a tweet by him. It was retweeted or maybe liked by a lot of people, but apparently like, he was like heartbroken like a month ago or maybe 2. I don't remember on the time frame, but he was like, oh, I'm heartbroken. This guy that I liked, and I think, again, I could be wrong, but I think that guy came with a video either a little bit before or after Tati Westbrook posted that video. And he basically said, like, look, I told him I was straight. And he basically essentially said the same thing to me that he said about that server. It's like, well, like, I'm super rich and, like, I'm super famous. So, like, why wouldn't you? And I don't know 100%, but I think a lot of dudes came out and said that too. Whether, I mean, they might just be into it for views, but they were saying that, like, I'm straight and that's, like, his thing. Like, he likes to go after, like, straight guys to be like, yeah, like, I can change that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting situation, but
It's hilarious to me. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
I think it's hilarious. But I mean, I was looking at Social Blade actually, but yeah, he was just dropping subs. I think he started to kind of recover a little bit from it.
He started to recover now. But
yeah, but dude, that video was
Jesus.
an absolute nuke.
In one day, he lost 1.26 million.
Could you imagine? People
And
spend like years and years and years trying to get to a million subs. Like that's like a goal, is get a million subs. And
I mean, to be fair, he still had 127,993,000 views last month. But last month, he lost 2.5 million subscribers in 1 month.
oh my god, that's absolutely nuts to me.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, and then also I didn't hear about it, but I heard that he put like an apology video or something like that, and I heard it was absolute ass. I heard
it's right here.
I heard it sucked ass. And he was basically just talking really slow, and
I feel like that's what it is. It's
thing.
like when YouTubers get in a bunch of heat, they make a apology video, it gets a crap ton of views, and it's literally just them either bullshitting or talking super quiet. Or like, did you see that one that eventually became a meme like last year, where that girl was literally just crying the whole time?
Mm-hmm. I've seen some TikToks because apparently the video like looked super fake, and it didn't even like it just looked super fake. And I saw like some TikToks of like a girl acting like the person behind the camera with like slides and stuff saying what, and he's like, come on, like more emotion, you know. And I saw a comment on, or maybe it was a reply on some tweet about the video, and this guy was saying that he thinks it's super funny that people in this industry, which again, I don't know if I don't follow the makeup industry, but he was saying he thinks it's funny when they try to make an apology video or something like that, they wear like, you know, super comfy like raggy clothes, and they don't have makeup, so like it's supposed to look genuine, or I don't know. And from the thumbnail, it looked like he wasn't like wearing makeup, and he was doing exactly that. So that's absolutely hilarious to me, and he kind of screwed himself.
It's been kind of a crazy couple months as far as like big YouTubers getting in some like mega heat because of Olivia Jade too. Her mom was Aunt Becky from Full House.
Oh,
where it's like her mom bought her way in, Olivia's way into USC. You know,
probably yeah.
You didn't see any of that?
No, but I mean, I could believe it. Like,
how did you not see any of that? It was like the biggest news story for
I don't know.
like
and
forever.
I watched like Drama Alert, which is from Keemstar. I think his videos are so entertaining, but I must have missed that. I don't know. There's a chapter I wasn't on YouTube for a while. That's kind of funny.
What? It's not even on YouTube. It was on like major mainstream media. It was like one of the largest stories. Maybe you didn't hear about that at all.
Maybe I saw it. I don't know, but I could believe it.
They
I wouldn't doubt it.
They basically paid to have her SAT score changed, and then they paid their way in. Like she was essentially like a rowing on a rowing scholarship for like their rowing team, but was never like.
Of course, USC has a rowing team.
Yeah,
USC
but I mean,
is such
it was
a
like,
nice college.
But it wasn't just them. It was like a bunch of people. Like I think there was a doctor from Grey's Anatomy that's actually got like 2 months in prison or something for her daughter, and it's like, yeah, it's wild, man. But if you've got mega millions like that, I mean, what's stopping you from basically doing whatever you feel like doing? You know,
at the end of the day, I mean, it's your money. If you want to be an idiot with it, I guess do what you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I was thinking, I fell down a rabbit hole the other day on YouTube. You know, like one does quite often.
That happens to me
if you spend any time on YouTube, and especially if you spend as much time on YouTube as I do, you end up falling down many rabbit holes.
You're like, what am I watching?
Yeah. I stumbled across it's a, what is my dog doing?
Yeah, she's just kind of waddling here. She's minding her own business.
Yeah, she's under the table. I don't even think you guys could see it, but I fell down this rabbit hole where it was a documentary about EasyJet, which is the UK's largest air like air
It's
transportation
like they're
company.
like Delta. Like
It's
they're
like Delta
United,
and stuff here. Yeah. And it's like it's a TV show that's going on right now. And just like some random account called like 4K fan or something actually rips the entire episode and puts it on YouTube when they come out.
Yeah.
So anyways, I started watching it where they're inside the cockpit of planes.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating. Like I can't fly. Like I'll go and I'll fly somewhere, but I don't enjoy it at all.
No.
But I think being a pilot would be so sick.
Have you seen? I mean, you've probably seen pictures of like a Boeing jet or 737 Boeing. I think they're called, like those big ass ones.
Yeah.
It shows like the control frame and it's buttons and knobs and sliders everywhere, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That
look
looks
at this.
absolutely nuts.
Boeing 747.
747.
That's
one
like the
number
most
off.
common jet.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Look at all those buttons, and there's some even down here too.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
That's a pretty crazy job, I would assume. I mean, I didn't watch the documentary on it, but like these guys will, like, their job is to fly and they have to stay in hotels. It's the same thing with flight attendants too, except obviously like they make way more money because they're piloting the plane that holds all these people. But they got to stay nights in like these different cities, and they basically just bounce all over the place.
Yeah.
And
apparently it's like really, really expensive for to get your pilot's license. Like
I would not doubt it.
$120,000.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that like a commercial pilot's license or just pilot's license?
Commercial pilot's license. Yeah.
Okay, because I say one of the guys we went to school with, he has a pilot's license.
Yeah, I mean, you can get like your small engine pilot's license pretty easy, or even like to legally be able to fly a drone now. You need to get your pilot's license.
Yeah.
I think it's like a single engine. Like you don't actually have to fly a plane to be able to fly a drone.
I don't ask Taylor about that, but I forgot.
Yeah. Well, and I know that Taylor listens to the podcast.
He does. He was talking to me about it.
So maybe if you can confirm what kind of license you have to get to be able to fly a drone, that would be really cool to talk about.
I didn't even know that was a thing with drones.
Well, I mean, I know that it happened probably like drones really got big probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Where like every YouTuber and like everybody wanted one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they started having a lot of problems at airports and such, as far as the drones flying too close to oncoming and like planes taking off and landing and stuff.
Oh, no way.
So they had to, I don't know exactly what the rule is. And then like privacy issues, like people would fly their drones into people's backyards and try to look in their house and stuff.
Yeah.
So all it takes is those idiots to
like
wreck
ruin
it for everyone else. But, you know, what do you do?
Yeah, it's whatever though. That's kind of funny though. I had no idea that you have to get like a license for like a little drone, but I guess you do.
But anyways, that's a job I think would be a really cool job to do, but I'll probably and will never do. Yeah. But I think it'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. Dude, I've been on like Twitter, Facebook, like all social media for and it's like it's flooded with Game of Thrones. Yeah. It's flooded with Game of Thrones, especially Sunday nights. I think it's when they air it. And I see like all these people talking about it. People are like, oh, if you don't want spoilers, don't go on social media on Sunday. And it's absolutely crazy because so many people I know watch the show. And I'm not going to lie to you. Me and my girlfriend just started watching it. We just started it. Yeah. And it's pretty good so far. I mean, we've only watched like 2 episodes. They're like an hour long. Yeah. And the first episode was it's pretty boring. I mean, they just kind of like introduced characters.
Don't do any spoilers, Mitch.
It's just an episode. Like
I'll probably never watch it because that type of TV just isn't interesting to me. But yeah, people go nuts for that show. Yeah. It's just like The Bachelor.
I've watched
people go freaking nuts for that show, and it's all scripted. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I mean it's like supposed to be fictional, obviously, but I watched the 2, and like I said, the first one was just. It's literally just like
the pilot of every TV show is always boring.
Yeah, it's pretty boring, but I mean the next one was pretty good. I don't know. Like I said, we just started, and we've watched, like I said, 2 episodes. Dude, there's so many sex scenes in it.
Yeah,
there's so many sex scenes.
That's what David I was telling me one day because he's really big into it.
Yeah,
David I was one of our friends that we play game. I've actually never met him in person. You have.
I have, unfortunately.
Yeah. But we've known him for quite a few years. We play video games and stuff with him. But yeah, he was telling me about that.
I like because he told me about that before, but we were 2 episodes in, and I'm like, okay, Like it's just nudity and like, yeah. So it's kind of funny, but I didn't expect like that.
Don't
much.
they like fight dragons and shit?
Dude, it's like it's that type of stuff like castles, dragons.
Speaking of good TV shows that I feel like nobody knows about, it's on. It's an Amazon Instant, Amazon original, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
And it's called The Man in the High Castle. Have you ever seen it?
No, I've not.
No. It's essentially it's based on a book that somebody wrote years ago, and it basically the book and the TV show depicts what life could be like if the Nazis would have won World War II and taken over the United States.
I think I've heard about that. Yeah.
Dude, it is. I found it last year and I watched the first 2 seasons. I binge watched it in like a week, and they're an hour-long episodes, and there's 10 episodes per season.
There's like a video game. I think one of my boys was Alex was telling me about. I think it's the same concept.
Yeah,
it's a video game, but it's basically like what it's like in the future if the Nazis like would have won and they took everything over and all that type of stuff, which is definitely something like interesting to think about for sure. Because that was, everyone probably knows about World War II. You get taught it like in
we only had to learn about it like
school.
3-4 times.
Yeah, so I had a guy in my class that was a World War II fanatic. I think you know who that was, right?
No,
he knew like every fact there was to know about World War II, which is cool. Like war history is pretty neat to me.
I actually don't. I don't know who you're talking about.
It's not a big deal, man. No, pissed. But no, that sounds kind of interesting. That's an interesting concept. I'm honestly so guilty of it. Where only things I watch on TV are The Office, which is pretty basic. I've watched that a handful of times. I've watched
by far my favorite TV show.
I've watched Trailer Park Boys a bunch, which just I love it, but it makes me lose brain cells. So not many more.
It's like watching Family Guy too.
I remember Family Guy. What else? I don't know. I'll watch some South Park. That show's pretty gigs. I don't know. I really just don't watch TV, and when I do watch TV, it's strictly sports. Football, hockey, and then NBA playoffs. I don't give a shit about the regular season regular season for basketball, but I'll watch like playoffs.
Yeah, we talked about this last week, and I literally could give 2 shits about basketball.
Yeah, no, I remember you telling me that, but that's like the only thing that I watch really on TV. And like when I'm getting to the point where I'm paying like my internet or my cable, I'm honestly not doing cable. I think cable is
dying. For
sure.
Sure.
It definitely could be me, but I see a lot of people that are my age, and it's starting to not even just be my age, where
we don't have cable here. We've always had cable up until like 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. We just have
I don't use cable.
No, we have Hulu Live TV.
Yeah.
So you can still get live channels through Hulu, and YouTube has their own too. It's called YouTube TV.
Plus, honestly, and the way it works with these cable companies is they are head asses, and they take if you have a problem with like let's say your little box, like in my experience it's taken forever.
Parts of Kansas are in a severe weather and tornado watch. I wonder if Philip's okay.
True, poor guy. His little dog's flying around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't use cable, and those guys are just annoying about it. So it's to the point where I'd rather just pay for like good internet and then just call it good, because cable to me, I wouldn't say like it depends on who you are, but to me it is a waste of money. To me,
I think so too. How much do you actually like watch cable? And I feel like I watched when I was going to school for to get my real estate license. I stayed in a hotel for 3 weeks.
Yeah. And
I would watch cable there.
How's that?
It's awful. It's like you see like 10 minutes of your show, and then it's like 15 minutes of ads.
Oh, it's annoying.
Like I was timing it. I was watching a show called The Prophet on NBC.
Yeah.
And the longest the show played for consecutively before like an ad break was 12 minutes, which is like a decent amount. But the episodes are an hour long.
Oh, God.
So, and it was like 12 minutes of the show, and then it was like at least 12 minutes of ads.
How do you get ad block for your TV?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely stupid. Hulu has like 2 different programs where you can either have no ads or you have some ads. The ones with ads are cheaper.
Yeah.
And the ads aren't even like that bad on that. Like
no,
you get
like on the Hulu account that we have, the ads are like 15 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I get ones that are like 30 seconds and I get pissed, but
it's just like on YouTube. I mean, the ads on here aren't 15 minutes consecutive ads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you see one ad for maybe 10 seconds.
and you can skip it sometimes.
And there's like, sometimes you can get like an ad that might be like a 10-minute ad, but you can skip it after 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like the 10-minute ads, those are going to be like Ty Lopez, you know?
Yeah.
He's going to be the one that will pay for the 10-minute ad. Yeah.
Skip it.
It's just it's a classic. Just here in my garage.
True. Got my Lamborghinis. Yeah, I used to be a lot more into Ty Lopez. I mean, if you guys don't know, he's like an entrepreneur.
He basically just gets you into a ClickFunnels and sells you courses
Yeah.
on how to be rich.
Yeah. But it's like,
Really. I mean, there's probably some good stuff that you can, but
Yeah,
I feel like I just can't watch his content that much.
I think he's kind of funny. I don't know.
Yeah. I would much rather watch like Gary Vee or something.
Yeah, Ty Lopez is funny because he's like, he'll go out with like he's rich. Like, goes with like all these hot chicks. And like he'll be like, have her on his snap story, be like, $300 to who can like guess her ethnicity, and he'll be like, can you do a spin for me? And she'll like spin around, and I'm like,
you know how much he's probably paying those girls to be there? Either that or they're just doing it for straight up the clout.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard a saying once where it said money is a man's best makeup.
I believe it.
Yeah.
100% I believe that.
Yeah. You see Dan Bilzerian. I mean, he's not, like, I don't think he's a bad looking guy.
Dan Bilzerian, I just got to say this, lives the life.
Honestly.
He lives like every male's dream life.
Yeah. Honestly.
Right?
Shoots guns, hangs with like all these broads, and like
Plays poker for a living.
Yeah.
And lives in this absolutely astronomically huge house.
I think he lives in Vegas or in Nevada or something.
Yeah, I think it's in Vegas.
Yeah. I remember watching Larry Bird interview, or Larry King. Not Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Larry King interview with him.
Yep.
And he asked him about his poker life, and because I think that's how he kind of started making like that amount of money. And he said he remembers playing poker. He'd play on a computer.
Yeah.
And he said he would play.
I think he said he had 6 screens.
5, 6, yeah, like all these games, and he'd be playing them all at the same time, because he's like, that way, like, you see so many hands.
I remember that he would see like a what did he say? It was like a unreal amount of hands per minute.
Mm-hmm.
It was like at least 30 hands a minute.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even keep track of all that?
I couldn't.
I can't even, when I go to the casino, I can't even keep track of one hand.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yeah.
I've been going to the casino for 3 years and I still don't know how to play cards, but
I mean, you could do blackjack, right?
yeah, I mean, I play blackjack, but there's just like so many things that I don't know, you know, like if there's a low card or they're showing like a whatever.
Yeah,
there's like so many different things
guys
like,
will bluff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, which is. But yeah, so he basically said you play all these games and all these hands at one time, and he said this way he could see all these hands, and he just kind of sees what happens more and that type of thing. He said like this is a normal thing for like pro poker players, I think.
Yeah,
where they'll do that and they just play multiple games at a time, and they're seeing all these hands, and it's absolutely crazy to me. But I think that's how he made his money. But he's a pretty good businessman too. He's actually a really good businessman. He started that company called Ignite.
Yeah.
They got
it's like all CBD
they
stuff.
got
isn't
CBD, and then if you're like in California, they got like dispensaries, and they got like basically weed products that you can buy. I was reading on that where
I've always said that if that becomes legal in Minnesota, I want to invest in it so bad.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, dude, people go nuts for it. I mean,
that'd be such. It's like owning a liquor store.
Because people, yeah, honestly,
I mean?
well, people, because when I was out in California, there was dispensaries everywhere, and it was absolutely nuts. It was common, and these places like, they would do like delivery, like that'd be a
dispensary would do deliveries.
Yep. So like, and I was like reading on it, I was like, okay, is this like a thing? Because I don't know, I don't go to like those dispensaries, but like a ton of people do. It's so common there, but. Yeah, you can basically order whatever, and they'll just get one of the guys, like the workers, to like deliver it to your house.
What?
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And the guys will walk around with just like joints and stuff, and it's like it's so common, like weeds everywhere there, and then to get in California, and I don't know where it is, like or what it is state by state, but in California, to be like 18, you have to get like a medical card
Yeah.
or a green card.
I think that's what you have to do here too.
Probably.
I think it's legal, like medicinal.
And I don't know if it's this way everywhere, but apparently it's like super easy to get in California. You could go in and say, I can't sleep. And they'll be like, like, okay, like, here you go.
Speaking of I don't know why I got so excited about this, but did you see in the news the other day that Colorado was the first state to legalize mushrooms?
Yeah.
Psychedelic mushrooms.
I saw that. That's funny. Dude,
Colorado's just turning into a bunch of stoners out there.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
funny.
I mean, people honestly probably move to Colorado just for that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like, I mean, if you're trying to move cross country to go smoke weed legally, I guess that's not something I would do. But
I mean, I've definitely never done mushrooms, but I've talked to some people that have done it, and they said it's actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, because it's a psychedelic, right?
Yeah.
It's a psychedelic, and I don't think you see, I don't know, like.
From what I watched a video on psychedelics once too, and essentially what it does is help like open up a portion of your brain that you normally don't tap into. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, there's this one video I was watching where this guy was talking about, it wasn't mushrooms, but it was a type of psychedelic that the first time you take it, apparently this happens to a lot of people. The first time you take it, the first thing you hear in your head is, we're so glad you found this drug.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's sketchy.
Yeah,
that's
because
sketchy.
it like makes you like think differently.
That's so weird. I don't know.
Oh, it was on a Shane Dawson video about conspiracy theories. That's what it was on.
Well, because there's that, and there's like LSD. Or is acid the same thing as LSD? I'm pretty done with that stuff. I know ASAP Rocky. He's like big in LSD stuff. He's in a song called LSD too.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of big like celebrities and stuff are all into that stuff.
But one of the guys I knew out in California, he said he's like done acid, and this is his experience. But he said, I mean, and people say that you got to be like in a certain environment, or I don't know, people react. I don't know. Anyway, he said, for example, like he pointed at a beam, and he's like, so that would kind of be like tilting side to side. He's like, it wouldn't be like going fast or anything, and you wouldn't be seeing like crazy colors, but it would just kind of like wave like really slowly. And I thought that was like kind of weird to think about. Yeah,
there was this kid who lived across the hall from me in college, and I remember one time he told me that him and some of his buddies or something, I don't remember, took acid, and they said they stared at a poster of George Washington for 3 hours.
Dude, I'm telling you, that just sounds crazy, man. I don't know.
It's not for me, but
yeah, for some. I mean, for obviously just for some people, I guess. But
yeah,
I mean, so is black tar heroin. That's for some people.
Yeah. We just went down a really weird path.
That would almost be a rabbit hole, as you could say.
That would be considered a rabbit hole on the Nymore Boys podcast. Kind of a little bit over the halfway mark of the podcast. I just want to remind you guys to go follow us on all of our social media. It's all linked down below. If you are listening to the audio version, make sure to follow us on all of our social medias. Like I said, Nymore Boys, basically everywhere. Go check out our new website, nymoreboys.com. Buy yourself some merch.
Yeah.
It's good quality. We got Champion sweatshirts in there now, which I'm super pumped about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
But I just saw that Logic.
I could probably see him in the shot there. Or his album
cover in the shot. Probably my favorite artist, and one of your favorites. I know that you've also really enjoyed Logic.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my top artists. I wouldn't say...
We went to his concert last year, or was it 2 years ago?
Dude, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago already. It was the last time.
That was when that album came out. And
yep.
Yeah, I mean, Logic, I like him. I really
What'd
do.
you think of his last album?
It was good. I mean, I liked it personally.
I enjoyed it too.
To me, I wouldn't really say I have a favorite artist, unless you maybe
That's
like,
fair.
I don't know. I mean, because for me, when I first got into rap and that kind of genre, was Eminem. I don't know why. It was just, that's what it was. So
I feel like everybody just kind of knows about Eminem right away because he's the GOAT.
Yeah, I definitely
I think back to hockey, and the first big rapper that we'd all listen to was Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Recovery album.
Yeah.
Like Cinderella Man and
that was when he got because he was on all these crazy sorts of drugs, especially if you want to go back, and obviously probably everyone knows it because everyone's heard all his music, but all of his old music is just whack, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy because he was on so many drugs and painkillers and doing all this crazy shit, and then he sobered up, and people will make the argument like, oh, he's not as good anymore, which, I mean, I can see, but, you know, at least he's not killing himself from the inside out. But yeah, so he, I guess, would maybe be like one of my all-time favorites. But I listen to a lot of stuff. Like, for example, you could even say, like, you know, what I've been listening to lately, or like what I've been listening to a lot lately. For the past couple months, I've been on like a Black binge of, so Black is, his name is spelled Six Lack. Yeah. So it's like R&B, and I like R&B, especially when I'm like up at night. I just like to chill. I like to play music all the time. That's something like I like to do. It's one of my hobbies, I guess. Or I'm just really into music, so that type of stuff I'm really into. I got stuff from like the early 2000s, late 90s, like Sum 41, Blink 82. I got a lot of different types of music I listen to. I got some old country, like some old ass country.
Get out of here with that.
I got some of that. I have, I don't know, some new country. I like the older stuff better. What else? I mean, rap. I'd say rap is probably my favorite genre.
Yeah, that's mainly what I listen to.
If you had to point a gun to my head and say, what's your favorite genre, I'd probably say rap. If I had to like live with that forever. Because, I mean, to me, there's different types of rap too. So
you know what's another, I only like the one band in this genre, but System of a Down, some hardcore like screamo rock music.
Or kitchen music, like when you're cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, like when you work in a kitchen. And that's actually where I ended up, I guess you could say, liking it, because I had to listen to it for 10 hours a day, 40 hours a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's like, that's the kind of stuff when you wake up and you don't want to be awake. Yeah. And you just put some headphones in and listen to something to wake you up, because they're just like absolutely screaming in your ear.
Mm-hmm. No, it's pretty funny. Yeah, I definitely...
But...
I don't have too much screamo stuff personally. Yeah. I mean, I know System of a Down is Slipknot's pretty big too.
Slipknot's big. I don't really listen to much of their stuff, but I know that like Tim the Tatman really likes it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think other people, you know, other bands or artists I can think of. For example, like CCR.
Never heard of them.
Creedence Clearwater Revival. For example, Keith loves them.
Keith Krause?
Yes.
Dude, I haven't talked to Keith Krause in years.
Yeah, dude. He's a good guy.
You talked to him lately?
Not lately. I know he's just still chilling and doing his thing, but yeah. No, Keith's one of my all-time
favorite
he's
guys. A good dude. He's a good man.
He's up there on my all-time favorite list for sure.
He's a good man. No, but anyways, Logic just announced his tour for Confessions of a Deep Mind.
Yeah, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Why isn't he coming to Minnesota?
I don't know, dude. I thought Minnesota was pretty good when he went there.
That pisses me off.
Yep, so now we got to go to Madison.
We got to drive to Madison, Wisconsin.
Is that the closest place? What are the other options?
Chicago and Detroit are the other two.
Detroit would be fun.
Detroit would be sick. I've never been there, but I don't know how far away Detroit really is from here.
If I had to guess, I'd probably say like 12 hours.
You think it's that far?
Yeah.
Let me see.
10, 12 hours.
Google.
So I didn't go through Detroit when I do that drive from Pennsylvania and back. I go through Chicago, Ohio, that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, I've been to Chicago before.
Because the option you can do is you can go through that Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is pretty cool. That's definitely a neat area. I went to a hockey camp up at Michigan Tech when I was younger, and I got to see the Upper Peninsula, which was pretty freaking sweet, actually.
Let's see how far it is from here.
I said 10 to 12 hours.
From my address, 13 hours. So we'd have to drive through Chicago.
Or you can go through...
we'd have to drive through Madison.
Or you can go through the Upper Peninsula. I'm telling you.
You could go... That would be actually a pretty sick drive.
Don't sleep on the UP.
That would be a pretty cool drive. I feel like it'd be pretty.
It's cool because, like I said, you see.
You're not going way up into the UP. You're going to Duluth and then kind of across that way. But I still feel like it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
to go
like I said,
way.
let me tell you, like it's cool there.
14 and a half hours. It would be kind of cool to go on a little road trip, but it's in November. All the colors and stuff with all like the.
That'd be
since
sick.
it'll be fall.
Also, Red Wings.
Might have to do that. Maybe catch a Red Wings game over there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of
That'd
cool
be
stuff
pretty
that
fun.
you can do
actually.
for sure. But
yeah,
I definitely
I'd be
want to do a
down
lot
for that.
I want to do a lot of traveling this summer.
I do too. Well, the summer I don't. I mean, I'm going to Vegas, but dude. Okay, random thought I had last night, and I honestly might do it. I might get a camper, like a pull behind camper.
Yeah.
And park it at a campground for the summer and have like a seasonal and live out there.
Yeah, you can do that.
I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, because I mean, growing up, we used to have a seasonal campground, or like a seasonal.
I think I remember
camper.
that place. I remember that place.
I mean, granted, we had our last 2 years, we had like a big park model with like a 2-bedroom and big kitchen.
Remember that.
It would not be anything like that, but still, I think it'd be sick. Because, I mean, they're big enough for one person. Some of the campers I was looking at last night are bigger than my apartment was when I lived in Burnsville.
Yep. Honestly, I mean,
I think that'd be cool, and then that gives more opportunity to save up for a house.
Don't I don't know if this is a common thing, but don't old people when they retire just buy like an RV?
A lot of them do.
Is that like a thing?
Yep. I've met a lot of them. At my previous job, I met some who had been living full time out of an RV for 2 years, traveling around. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty cool.
What was that thing at like 5 miles to the gallon?
Yeah, campers don't, especially those big RVs, they get like maybe 10 on a good day if you've had diesel pusher.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely something I want to do is traveling was. I mean, talk about a lot of places where I want to go. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Talk about a lot of places where I want to go. I mean, I think
it's hard to remember that these mics only pick up directly in front of it.
Yeah.
So even if you like slightly turn away from the mic, you're just.
Then I'm gonna sound like I don't sound like an ass, but I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah, you get quiet really fast. But yeah, I mean, I think that would be super sick. But another thing I looked at was, have you ever heard of van life? You've never heard of van life? Another rabbit hole I fell down. This is back when I was still working at my previous job and I just wanted to leave, Yeah. And I found out about van life where people essentially buy like Sprinter vans. Like the Dodge Sprinter vans that you can stand up in, like a cargo van. Like those
Volkswagens?
Like what Nailers has, the tall Nailers vans.
Yeah.
And they convert the inside to a camper. And then they live out of it full time and like travel around the world. So essentially like how a lot of people retire into RVs.
Yeah.
These have a much smaller footprint than an RV.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be so cool just to travel, like live out of like a van or a camper for a year and just travel around the United States.
Funny story. So when I was out playing out in SoCal, so basically there was an idea that came about of a hockey house. And this was a huge house that just a bunch of the guys could live at.
Almost like a gaming house.
Yeah.
I think a gaming house would be so sick to live in.
It'd be sick. And essentially what this was, like I said, they packed a bunch of guys in their owner, had this house. And obviously, we're 18, 17 to 20 years old. So, we could be being idiots. So they had some guy there that kind of like cooked for us. Or
you had a cook? Did you actually live there?
I lived there for a little bit, but I didn't like it because okay. The reason why I moved out was they didn't have Wi-Fi for like a month, and I got so pissed.
Yeah,
I didn't have Wi-Fi, so but yeah, so this guy would like cook and stuff, and this guy he's from Atlanta, and he has settled down. He has a van, like one of those vans you're talking about, and he says he's been all over the country. He lived in Colorado.
Yeah, and
then because. He's like, I have a cheap mobile plan. That's all I need. I have my van. And he said that he parked his van and just lived down by Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
Which is sick. So he lived there. He was in Colorado. Like, he's bounced all over the place. And he said he's been doing it for a while. And he claims he likes it. He was just like there for us for like the hockey season.
Yeah.
And now he's back doing his thing.
Well, that's what a lot of them do too. I mean, I watched a ton of videos. A lot of them either do work online as far as like maybe uploading YouTube videos or writing blogs or Instagram or anything like that. Some of them just do like freelance work, like writing for different companies. And then some of them just do remote work. So they'll literally like get a job in a certain area and just kind of camp out in like a specific area for a certain extended period of time and just do like temp jobs essentially, you know?
And he was saying, he's like, dude, I don't have to pay rent. I just pay for gas.
Yeah.
And I have my phone bill and that's it. And he got like one of those cheap ass phone lines or whatever.
Oh, like Cricket
Boost or
Ting.
Cricket or like something like that.
Ting is kind of a popular one too. It's out of Canada.
Yeah, so it's like hella cheap, and that's like I said, that's basically what he did. So
it's more popular than you think, especially with people around our age. A lot of people are starting to, especially in those big cities like that, like San Francisco and LA.
Yeah.
Because of how expensive it is to actually rent a place there, it's so much cheaper just to like convert a van and just literally park on the beach or stealth camp on the side of the road in like a residential area or something.
Yeah.
But I think it would be really fun. Yeah. Like I thought of a project to work on, and I think it'd be cool to take a cool picture in every state. All 50, how many states do we have? 50 whatever.
50 states.
50 states. Wow, I just absolutely looked like an idiot. In 1 year. I think that would be such a cool thing to do.
Cool. And it depends on how long it would take you because you get winter and you get fall and you get all the seasons.
Right. I mean, obviously you'd want to do like the Midwest, like where we're at now in the summertime because it's sick.
It's not quite summer, but yeah.
Well, I think it is summer, isn't it?
Technically?
I think it's the first day of summer.
Dude, sure as hell don't feel like summer.
Today it doesn't. The other day it was actually really nice, but
yeah.
And then obviously as it starts getting colder here, you start navigating towards the West Coast.
Yeah.
You know?
Guys do that with not pictures, but I know it's a common thing to go to baseball parks. So guys will go to baseball parks all over the country and they just go see all because I'm not really a huge fan of just watching baseball unless it's like playoffs. It's kind of fun to watch, but
I can only watch baseball if I'm at the stadium watching the game.
This funny is I'm wearing an LA Dodgers hat.
Yeah.
This was actually a gift from my build family.
Bandwagon.
Hey, it was a gift, so I gotta wear it. But yeah, so guys will do that, and they'll go visit all these ballparks like Fenway. Dude, I don't even know the stadiums, honestly. Minnesota's like Target Field, so like a bunch of these. And then
the good old Metrodome.
That's kind of like what they'll do, where they won't do them all in 1 year, but they'll go on like tours, so they can do like 13 or something like that. And I'm pretty sure baseball tickets are pretty cheap, so like that's not even like the expensive part.
You can go to a baseball. You can go to a Twins game for like $20.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting way far away from the...
Dude, can't you sit wherever they want? They feel like when I'm watching baseball, there's like 10 people at the game.
Oh, yeah. There's been a few times where I've gotten tickets like way up in nosebleed, and then you just sit in the lower level.
Because there's nobody there.
You just have to sit up in your seats for like the first 2 innings, and then after that, just go sit wherever you want.
Don't be listening to this, Twins.
Yeah. Now we're just getting screwed.
Yeah, we're suing ourselves. But yeah, so guys will do that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about traveling over and doing different things. I'd love to do that I can't. I can right now, but they're just money. This shit costs money. But I'd love to do that with hockey rinks. I'd love to do that.
It would be cool.
Going to the Bell Center out of Toronto or out of Montreal. Stupid. Madison Square Garden would be sick. That's such a famous building.
I was in Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
But
it's cool.
I didn't actually get into the stadium. I don't think. I was pretty young when I was in New York, but
when I was on,
I really want to go back.
Yeah, when I was on, I actually went to a Caps game, which was sick. So sick.
Yeah, you went out to Washington, didn't you?
Yeah, DC, and that was the year before they won the cup. So they didn't have the banner up yet, but that was absolutely sick. And I'm just like such a fucking nerd. Like I go down and I watch warm ups. I just think it's so cool. For someone that's what was that?
That was the lens cap for the camera.
For someone who kind of like plays the game, you really appreciate the skill that these guys have. It's
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane, and it's just fun to watch. Like
I remember going to my very first NHL game, and I remember looking down the tunnel and seeing, at the time it was Nicholas Backstrom for the Wild.
goalie.
And I remember seeing him standing down there and thinking, like, holy crap, he's
on
real.
TV. Like,
Yeah. Like,
mhm.
all I've ever seen him is on TV.
Yeah.
So, of course, when you see somebody in person, you're like, holy shit, he's real.
Yeah, and I did the same thing. I went up to a Jets game for my birthday, and it was Winnipeg versus Nashville, and I went down. I like
Was
Jets
that your
too.
first NHL game?
No, I've been to other NHL
okay.
games. I went to a Cavs game you had us, and then I went to smaller games.
Oh, that's right. You just went to the Jets game
Yeah,
just this year.
I went there. That was kind of for my birthday, and it was to me, again, going back to being like someone playing hockey and being a hockey fan, Winnipeg is one of those teams that's so fun to watch. Like, they're so scaled, so speedy. It's just they're a fun team to watch. But I wanted to go sit on the Nashville end because it's like a Winnipeg rink. So most of the fans are down in Winnipeg's end watching them warm up. So I went over to Nashville side, and I got to see a lot of the guys, like PK Subban. Probably because a lot of my favorite players play for like my favorite teams, but he is probably one of my favorite players that doesn't play for a favorite team of mine. He's a great hockey personality, and I love more guys like them. One of my big gripes with hockey and hockey players up at the pro level, and this isn't everyone, but this is for the most part, they seem pretty boring. Their interviews are boring. They just act boring. And I love to see emotion out of guys. I love to see them just being there and enjoying their job and enjoying I love that. So, and then Subban, when I was watching him, he's just an absolute ham, dude. He's a show off out there in warm-ups.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing stuff with the puck and the stick, throwing up in the air. He's just trying to look sick, it's cool to see. So I definitely like having more personalities like him because, like McDavid, he's probably the best player in the world. He is.
Or like Dumba.
Yeah.
Matt
Well,
Dumba?
with McDavid, because I'm not bashing his hockey. He's a great player, but have you seen his interviews?
No.
He has the personality of, from what I've seen, of like a wall. Like, he's boring, and it sucks because like this guy is a talent, and
I saw on Barstool the other day I think it was somebody on Boston was getting interviewed, and they literally just one-lined him back.
It's Marchand.
Yeah.
It's another
what
guy.
a fucking asshole.
No, dude, he is good for hockey in my opinion.
No, I know.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a hockey player.
You know
yes,
you know why it was like that?
But that's such a dick move.
You want to know why he did that?
Why?
So this guy who, if you guys don't know, we're talking about Brad Marchand, who plays for the Boston Bruins. He's probably one of the most hated players in the league. People call him the Rat, just stuff like that. He's a great player for sure. But this dude, when they were playing Columbus in the last round, he got interviewed by the same guy. This was prior. And he was asking him questions, he's asking about his teammates, and Marchand's giving him like an actual interview, right? And then he says, "Oh, did you get your skates sharpened from the last game?" Because there's a clip of Marchand stomping on a guy's stick on the face-off and like breaking it. And then basically there was like a thing on Twitter, and he was complaining, or like the guy that got his stick stepped on was, "Oh, he broke my stick," and Marchand's like, "Well, I have to sharpen my skates now because your stick was in the way."
Yeah.
And the guy basically asked him all these questions, and he says, "Did you get your skate sharpened?" Marchand doesn't say a word, and he skates off. And then 2 days later, I think when they advance on the series, the same guy interviews him, and he just like one-lines him the whole time.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Well, I guess I didn't know about the backstory, but
Yeah, but it's because
that's,
most of you guys would be like, "Oh, he's a dick," like for doing that.
Yeah.
But this guy was like just being a donkey to him, and then he just does that to him. So it's pretty funny. So like I said, I like more guys like that too. I'm not saying he has to be like a cocky prick. I mean, I don't mind like McDavid. I don't mind that he's like, like he's not like doesn't seem like an asshole. So like that's fine with me. But like I like to see all the star players like have a personality, and it's cool.
So last topic, because we're already almost at an hour, and I just got to say, if you're still watching or still listening, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That is awesome that you wanted to sit through us this entire time. But there is one more topic I want to talk about really quick before we finish things up.
Oh no.
I started watching some videos on YouTube from the Spit and Chicklets podcast.
It's hilarious.
Dude, it was
Biz
yes.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And he went and hung out with Sean Avery.
John Avery is a dick, but he's hilarious.
I know.
He's
I know. It
hilarious.
was so funny. And he's just like I can't believe he played hockey. Like,
Yeah.
if you watch the video, they went to his apartment and he's married to a supermodel, which apparently he does not let you forget that he's married to a supermodel.
Oh, yeah.
And he's dressed from head to toe in black with a black turtleneck.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
slicked back hair, and you go into his apartment, and it's this huge apartment with like
Yeah.
all this art everywhere, and like,
Yeah.
like how did this dude play hockey?
Dude, this guy.
Like that's just like so far from like the hockey, like a typical hockey
Yeah.
hockey player, you
Mhm.
know. And he played for a while too.
And add on to that, this guy, Sean Avery, will put on his Instagram stories. He lives in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be biking, and there'll be like a truck, like a delivery truck, parked in the biking lane, and he's like record. He's like, "Move your truck, you fucking asshole."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "This is a bike lane, you moron!" Like,
Yeah.
and like he just rips guys, and he does not give.
He
a
rips cigs
shit.
too. Do you know that?
Yeah, he does not give a shit, dude. And it's hilarious.
Rips
to me.
cigs.
He rips darts.
Yeah. So that was really funny to watch, and
Yeah.
Biz is fucking just hilarious.
Dude, I love that podcast.
Just an absolute.
Yeah.
I haven't actually listened to the podcast yet, but just watching their videos on YouTube is so funny.
Mm-hmm. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it.
But wow, we made it 56 minutes, Mitch.
Yeah, I don't usually like to do this too long because I know
Yeah.
people don't have time to sit through like
I
3
think
hours.
I think an hour is plenty.
We try to keep it 45 minutes to an hour,
Yeah.
depending on what we have to talk about. I mean, I could honestly
Yeah.
sit here for
we
4
talked
hours
about
if
a
I
lot
wanted.
of stuff today.
Yeah.
But oh, jeez,
Ew.
drinking these pounders.
True.
Thank you so much for watching and listening. Make sure to go follow us on all of our social medias. They are linked down below, as well as my Instagram and Mitch's Instagram.
It's all included there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow our personal Instagrams. Nymore Boys. We also got merch up there.
Yep.
Video will be on YouTube.
NymoreBoys.com.
Yep.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm pumped about this. I
Yep.
love watching podcasts visually, so this is more or less something that I wanted to do was shoot it visually.
Yeah.
But be sure to go follow us on all of the social medias. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. It actually does mean a lot, and I do really like actually reading them.
Ratings.
So,
reviews.
Next episode, I think we should probably read some of the ratings because I have seen that there's a few on there already.
Yeah.
So go leave us a rating, and we'll read all of them on the next podcast.
Don't sue us, you dickheads.
Yeah, don't be mean to us, but go leave a review on Apple Podcast. Follow us on Spotify and all of our social medias. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.
Later.